Cardiac Arrhythmias and Obesity Research Lab. I'm Kedar Aris, Assistant Professor in the Department of Physiology and Biophysics in the Jacob School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences at University at Buffalo. For this episode, I wanted to share my perspective on the kinds of questions you as an applicant for a tenure-track faculty position can ask during the screening interview. Now, given that the screening interview is typically a 30-minute session, and of those, only the last 5 minutes or so will be available for you to ask questions, that leaves you time for maybe 1 or 2 questions that you can ask the search committee. So what kind of questions should you ask? Perhaps you can ask about the type of mentoring that's available for the junior faculty members. You could ask about the core facilities and resources available at the university or the department that would be relevant to the kind of research you're planning on doing. You could also ask about the tenure process at the university or the department, perhaps a link to the department website or the university website where you can access that information. So these are all good questions to ask as an applicant. On the flip side, there are certain questions you should not be asking, like the salary you can expect or the startup costs that you would want. Now, these questions are important, but they're not important at this stage of the interview process because you will need to make the second cut to be invited to the campus interview. And after that, you'll have to make the third cut where you are the finalist, where they're willing to start negotiating your startup package. And only then will your salary negotiations and the startup negotiations will matter. At this stage, it's way too early to be talking about salary and startup. So please avoid asking those kind of questions. That completes the content for this episode. For the next episode, I will list out the checklist that I typically prepare for prior to getting ready for a screening interview. So I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye.